Greetings and welcome. My name is Dr. Sean Bullock, and this tutorial right here will focus on the monosaturation effect that's seen in a lot of music videos and also seen in the movie Sin City. So basically what we want to do is use compositing to generate this particular effect. And we're going to use two different types of segment effects or filters to actually render the effect. So without further ado, the first thing that we want to do is import our footage. So I'm going to go up here to File. I'm going to go to Import. And I'm going to import the folder that is titled Compositing. So once I import this particular folder here, I'm going to drop down my arrow and preview my clips, and the particular clip that we want to do this effect with is titled Composite 3. Now this is for my Advanced TV Production 477 class. So and they have the footage. The next thing that we want to do is mark in and mark out a small segment of footage, because all we want to do basically is just render the effect. Right now we're not trying to take an entire composition and do something. So I want to go ahead and insert this particular clip on the timeline. So I go to my insert function and I hit insert, and of course it's going to ask me to make sure that my sequence is the same resolution as my clip. Of course I want to hit yes. So we want to make sure of this. So now I have a small amount of the clip on the timeline. So now the next thing that I want to do is I want to go to Edit Copy, and I want to copy this particular clip. That's why I selected it. And then I'm going to go to Edit Paste and duplicate the clip. All right, so now I have the clip in two different segments, because we're going to have to apply two different effects to actually pull this effect off. So if you've all seen the Sin City movie, of course everything is black and white except the color red. So that's what we're about to do with this particular clip. So we use two different effects to pull this off. The first effect that we use is in our video filters folder, and the effect is called the color corrector. Now we could probably use a couple of other different effects, but for this particular exercise we'll go ahead and use the color corrector because it's going to be the fastest way to desaturate our clip. So we drop down our arrow for the video filters folder, and then we drop down the other arrow for the color corrector folder, and we find the actual color corrector effect. Now there are several different ways in Final Cut to apply effects to a clip. Right now we're just going to drag and drop this effect on the clip. So this red line appears, letting us know that the effect is unrendered. We won't worry about that right now. So what we want to do is double click on our clip so that we will be able to edit it. Once we double click on the clip, the color correction tab appears in the viewer window. So we will open up the viewer window, and all we have to do now is desaturate our clip. So notice once we desaturate, we should see the clip in our sequence window go to black and white. Once we've done that, we're fine. We've actually accomplished the effect. All right. So for the first clip. Now the next thing that we want to do with our second clip, which is actually the exact same clip as the first, but we're just going to apply a different effect. What we want to use is the key. So we come to the actual key prompt, the key folder, and we're going to get the chroma key effect. Now we apply the chroma key effect to our second clip because our first clip is already done. We don't have to do anything else to that. We want to double click the clip again, and now the chroma key tab pops up. Now it defaults to green, but the color that we actually want to key out or key on is the color red. So we use our eyedropper selection tool. We're going to click on the color red. When we click on the color red, we should see a change in our color spectrum meter. So I click on the color red, and there it is. So now our color spectrum meter actually goes to a couple of hues of red, but we want to expand this because we haven't noticed a change yet over here. So I'm going to use this parameter tool and expand the parameter a little bit, because again, we're going to have different hues of red just due to shadows and lighting. All right, and then we want to actually adjust the saturation as well. So once we adjust the saturation parameter, we're going to notice that regions are beginning to turn black within the red. Well, that's not black, that's actually transparency, and that's what we want. Our ultimate goal is to make sure or ensure that this entire red part becomes transparent. So now we can adjust the luminance, and we're going to notice that we're going to get stronger results. There we go. We're going to notice we get stronger results. Now another thing that we can look at is the inverse of this picture, because right now we're making red transparent, but we don't want red to be transparent. We want every other color to be transparent. So what we want to do now is hit the inverse selection button, and it will make red appear and every other color is going to be transparent. And because the one thing that we want to do right now is bring that rose out. That rose is just not strong enough. It's getting there, but it's not all the way there. So I think the rose is strong enough right now. So these are the two clips that we have. We have one clip right here with just red saturated, and then we have another clip that's totally desaturated. So if we composite both of these clips, place one on top of the other, boom, there we have it. The effect is enacted, and now we have what's called a monosaturation effect, where everything else is desaturated except for the color red. So this is a very simple exercise, and it gives you some insight in terms of using multiple effects, as well as compositing, as well as some of the tools that the color corrector and the chroma keyer effect can do. So great exercise. Thank you, and stay tuned for more tutorials.